And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Hello, all of America, and thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. We are talking to some of America's prime inventors with new products out there. And right now, we want to introduce Robin Adelman. She is with PacWell. They are a new sponsor for Invent America. And so today we are talking about packaging and how that can make or break you. But right now, I want to thank a couple of our other sponsors that have just been with us, going on about a year now. And we are so grateful to them. Kicker Design, who's helped several of our inventors get to a ASD Market Week, which the next one is coming up here pretty quick. ASD Market Week is a sponsor, so thank you, ASD Market Week. One of the largest and best trade shows for product to consumer in America. And that, oh my God, that's where we met, the Made in America guys. So it was a really good show for us. And we also want to thank Product Quick Start because they are one of our sponsors as well. So Robin, thanks so much for being with us today. Would you tell everybody, what does PacWell do?
Hi, Rita. Thank you so much for having us on the show. So PacWell, we're a one-stop shop for retail packaging. So we manufacture sealing equipment. So let's say you have blister packaging. We also manufacture anything that has to go on the shelf. So paperboard products like boxes, we could do bags, anything that you need to sell your product, that's what we do. And if we can't do it, we will source it and help you find a way to get it done. The other thing that we do is we do fulfillment and warehousing. So if you have a product that you're looking to get packaged up and you're not interested in buying the equipment or you're not looking to fulfill it yourself, we can do that for you. We're your partner in success to help you get that product on the shelf and selling.
You've talked to a few of our inventors already and help them understand that variable. So many inventors, the inventor business plan is have idea, get patent, make money. And there's so many other things that are involved in getting to the point of making money. So, a lot of times the fulfillment, the packaging are afterthoughts. And honestly, packaging can kill the budget. Explain to our listeners a little bit about what an inventor has to consider when they're looking at packaging these days, because it's changed a lot in the last 15 years.
Yes. So, that is our biggest challenge because packaging is the most important, but also it's the first thing that gets recycled or tossed out. So what I usually do is I ask them their selling point, and then I try to find the best sustainable, economical packaging that will fit their needs. And that's going to function properly. Because let's say you have a heavy product, you need a heftier packaging. Or if you have a lighter product, we can go in a snazzier packaging, but cheaper packaging. So it's all customizable. And everything is custom to and unique to each product. So we go through all these steps to get there.
It is. And it's amazing. The one cool thing that really fits in with our little family of shows here is that all of the packaging you do is manufactured here in the U.S.
Yes, everything.
And that's one of the things that, that we're always shooting for is what can we do in the U.S.? And, Brandon Kohler was the gentleman that introduced me to you. You saved him $2 per unit off his retail price because you changed his packaging.
Yes, it was. When I met him at a show and he was telling me, and also I take such pride in helping these companies save money. It's a joyful experience for me. And I'm just like, I asked him, what is your selling point? What does the store require from you? And I'm going to help you get there. And we did. So, everything is unique because his packaging might not work for another person's packaging, but we'll do the same process for everybody.
Well, and I don't think a lot of inventors realize, if you're selling something on Amazon, you could put it in a Ziploc bag and because they've already paid for it, they don't really care what it is. But if you're on a shelf someplace and you can't get someone to pick it up, they're not going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So, colors matter. And, we were doing a kind of a group evaluation pitch for an inventor at the Chamber of Commerce one time. And one of the test questions was, what do you think this product, what color do you think it should be made in? Oh, everybody put practical colors for being outside, black, brown, gray, dark blue, whatever like that. And no kidding, when they walked out, almost every single one of them picked yellow. So when you're doing that testing on colors, it makes a big difference. I wrote murder mysteries for a long time. And if you couldn't put a good cover on it, they weren't going to pick it up.
Yep.
Same thing with packaging. So how have you seen things change in the last 15 years?
So I would tell you that sustainability has been the big change. The process of printing, digital has taken an uptick. So the timeline for digital is much faster. It's a little more expensive, but you have more flexibility in running different SKUs at the same time. And gang runs, where we run everybody's of our customers at the same time, is cost savings, but it's a little bit of a longer lead time. So the changes really in sustainability is in materials, but the process of printing itself hasn't changed much in the years. It's just adapting to new materials and we have adaptive pieces that go on presses that create different shapes. So little things like that.
All right. Well, you told me that your family has been doing this as a combined experience of over 60 years. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So my grandfather invented blister packaging in 1949, and
cool.
That started with that, and it kind of evolved into anything printed or formed. And I bring up sustainability a lot, we've adapted a new blister package that is an all paper blister package that we just got the patent on, are launching this year. And it's pivoting and moving along with the markets and adding things to our line. So if we can't manufacture it for you, we're going to source it for you and make sure you have everything you need so we can support you on it.
Well, that's exciting. All right. So tell us a little bit about some of the cool things that you guys have done in the past.
Packaging wise?
Sure.
So we've worked with knife companies. We work with food companies. We've worked with anything in like the hunting, fishing. We have worked in candy companies. We have worked in medical companies. We do pharmaceutical grade material packaging. We have worked in pets, a lot of pet products. Any industry that you're seeing on the shelf, gift cards, all of that is everything we can do.
Well, that is exciting. And, so many of our inventors, like I said, need to get this on their radar sooner rather than later. So as they're going through, we wrote and we give out free of charge the Inventor's Galaxy Guide. And down towards the end of that checklist is packaging. What is a reasonable range that an early stage inventor needs to put on their radar for packaging and fulfillment? So let's say they've got a small pack, a small, and I realize that it's all over the place, but if you're looking at something that is going to, fit in that you're going to carry in your hand versus something that you've got to have a shopping cart or a dolly for, give us some ballpark ideas of what they should be budgeting. What should they look for?
It's really difficult to give a budget, but because it all varies. But I would say as soon as you have your prototype finished, I would go straight into the packaging once you have that prototype. And we can go through different options of what would work for it.
That's really interesting because that is a lot earlier on than I think where most inventors think about it. I think most of the time they go to, manufacturing and then they go, oh, wait a minute, I got to put this into something. And, I can't just send as is to the stores and expect them to be able to sell it. So that's a really good piece of advice that we will start telling our inventors. It's like as soon as you've got a ballpark idea of size and weight, you need to start budgeting for then the packaging part of that.
Yeah, and that's all we need is the size and weight of your product, and we'll come up with the rest.
At least being able to give them options, I think is important because, some places want it to be put onto a shelf. They want to be able to hang it on a little peg. Sometimes, you can get away with just having a hook on it as opposed to a box
Yes.
And so when we do our next segment, then I want you to be able to talk to the inventors about why. What is one versus the other, and what dictates then what you have to choose? And everybody stick with us, because we have got two amazing inventors coming up in our next segments. And we want to be able to talk about these products and how they solved their packaging problem. And right now we are going to go and pay some bills. But if you are an inventor out there, go to our site, invent-america.com, please, and look at the information that's there, because if you want to be on the show, you can fill out the form. It drops right into my email. If you've got questions about the process, oh yeah, there's my phone number. Give me a call. It's amazing how often somebody calls me on a Saturday afternoon. And if you've got questions, I'm more than happy to sign a non-disclosure, non-compete that will get you started in the right direction. And then I'm going to send you to some of our vetted service providers like Robin. So stick with us, everybody. We will be right back. Hello, all of America, and thank you for joining us on this segment of Invent America. Why? Because America invents, and we always have and always will. So if you want to learn about the inventing process and hear from the inventors, touch base. If you've got questions, join us at the Inventor Roundtable meetings, because that's kind of our open policy, asking questions where you can meet inventors from all across America. And that is where we get our guests like Robin to come in, and you can actually see her, ask questions, and get particular about where you are in the process. My next guest is Kevin, and Kevin's got, one of those tricky last names, McQuillan. Kevin, did I get close?
Exactly it, Rita.
All right. And Kevin is the inventor of Add-A-Rest. I have used Add-A-Rest. And even though I didn't necessarily use it exactly the way that it was intended, it was wonderful while I was driving, and I am grateful. Kevin, thanks so much for being with us, and tell our listeners about Add-A-Rest and where they can go to buy one.
Okay. Hi, kids. Hi, Rita. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you reaching out back to me and letting me know all about the show. So Add-A-Rest has actually always been a work in progress. It's one of those babies that has taken different shapes over the years. Add-A-Rest can be used in multiple positions. It's mainly a travel pillow for your car to help with posture support, whether it be your upper back and your neck area or lower back lumbar region like you discovered. What we found over the years was that there's many hacks for the product. So we added that to our business card, and now it's Add-A-Rest wherever you need it.
I love that. And because you're right, I didn't need it on the headrest of my car. I needed it in my lower back, and it made a big difference for me. And so how long have you been working on this?
So we initially got our patent back on it about 8 years ago. And so we went right into manufacturing. My patent attorney was able to put me on a few manufacturers actually here in Phoenix. So we also did 2 runs through our local manufacturing firm before we were able to lock down a manufacturer overseas after they closed their doors, and their parent company was looking for a minimum order quantity of about 5,000 units. We weren't ready to expand that quickly.
All right. So today our topic is about packaging. How did you've got good packaging now because it's easy for people to see, and it's easy for people to see, the images that you've got in there. But how did you deal with that? How many rounds did you have to go?
Right. So initially, you see all the other travel pillows out there, which, this product is, classified a travel pillow, albeit not a horseshoe pillow, but everything is on a hang card with that. But everybody knows what that product is. With my product being so new and doing so many different things well, we opted to look for more real estate. We needed, some way to explain the product and show it in use. And also, provide an instruction sheet on the back of that insert that we now use.
Well, I appreciated the fact that the pillow was completely covered. It was in its own bag, because I don't know about anybody else, but the last thing I want to do is buy an pillow at an airport that you have no idea who's been touching it. Not these days. Back 10 years ago, you might not have worried about it, but you certainly do these days. And just, not exactly sure I want to be, putting a pillow near my face or wherever that somebody else has been touching, and you have no idea who it is. But the packaging I thought was really good because you could see right, it protected the pillow. All right. And then you could actually see real easily what the different uses were for the pillow.
Yeah, correct. We needed the clear bag also to show that it is a two-piece product. It has the adjustable hood and also the concealed zipper pillow portion. So we wanted to make sure that everybody could actually see both of the units that they'd be receiving, because even when I sell them in person, people still have trouble with the concept. They're very skeptical as to what the product does and how they can benefit from it.
What's next for you guys? What is your goal? Where do you want to get to?
So we've changed really the business model to be more of a licensing product. I've reached out to a couple of auto accessory manufacturers because I'm really a product developer at heart, right? I've learned a ton with this product, about barcoding and packaging, like you said, getting a good graphic designer on board early. But being able to partner and be mentored by, other inventor folks like yourself is extremely important for anybody out there thinking that they're going to bring a product to market. What's next for us is, reaching out and seeing if we can partner with the right firm to come up with easy terms. We're not looking for a boatload of money on this thing. We just feel that so many people could benefit from the product, is really why, my trouble was in my upper back and neck areas. That's where I carry all my stress and tension. So many people can benefit from this. It really is a mass market product.
Where can our listeners find it?
We do have our own website, so you can learn a lot about it there. And, obviously my bio and how I've come to this place where we are now 7 years later, venturing with it for a bit. All the feedback that I get when I do sell them in person is positive. Once people sit in the demonstration chair, they feel the benefits of the product right away. They can also find us on Amazon as well. We have an Amazon store as well.
All right. So now this question is a little bit, out of left field for you. And I am sure you can handle it. What are the different trade shows that you have gone to?
Oh, Lord. So initially, right out of the gate, we auditioned for Shark Tank. And that experience was something else. Yeah, we had a blast up in Vegas. And as you know, it's during the Consumer Electronics Show. Mm-hmm. So we couldn't even get a room in town up there. We had to stay way out in Red Rocks. And here I am trying to traipse my demonstration chair into this audition, which was some kind of out of this world experience. They tell you that they give you 1 minute to pitch, and then they kind of calm you down once you get in there, and you go in front of 4 different casting directors. It really is a TV show. It's not really about your product. They want your backstory. They want all that, good information as well.
Did no one ever tell you that it doesn't matter how expensive the suit is, the shark will still eat you?
No, I didn't hear that one, Rita, but thanks. I'll take that to mind.
All right. So you were out there. What other shows did you go to? Maybe a show that was actually a more productive, trade show for you.
So I was a little bit leery and skeptical myself about the trade shows. They are very expensive. So being so new to the industry as product development, I was worried, about those. And it's hard to say it, but another copycat. Because the product is so unique, I wanted to make sure that we eventually, found somebody where the product could land. And I see this thing being in really, the truck stops on the freeways and things like that, where people are buying sunglasses and T-shirts. Not that it's a novelty product, because it is a full-on posture support and has so many health benefits. So really, dentist chairs, chiropractors, everybody can use it.
I am going to work on getting you to the next trade show with us. And so that's going to be another call, but we're going to do some video as well so that people can actually see it. Thank you so much for being with us. Everyone stick with us, because we have got Bruce and Melanie Thomas coming up with their product. It is organic and it is called Prune Master. So stick around and find out what that one's all about. Talk to you in a few. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. And our next inventors are Bruce and Melanie Thomas. And, somebody asked me your name. And I was like, you know what? I can tell you the name of their product in a heartbeat, but names of the inventors are always, down the ledge a little bit as far as remembering. What can I say? I'm getting older. It's harder to remember all those things. So Bruce and Melanie Thomas invented Prune Master, which is not the tool. It is the product you use to clean the tool. Correct, you guys?
That is correct.
Excellent. All right. Tell our listeners, what is Prune Master?
It's a fluid sprayed on pruning shears and saws. It will clean, lubricate, stop rust, sanitize the pruning tool in one step. The result is pruning tools will cut better, last longer, and prevent spread of plant disease.
It just makes your life easier.
Oh, it does, because my husband would get on my case every time I touched one of his tools if I did not clean it. And he does clean his tools every single time he uses them. All right. So Prune Master was a great gift to him. And it got me out of the doghouse every time I would use one of my tools and not clean it. Now I do. And I can say, oh, I'm killing the germs too. And it is not going to rust. Out here in the forest, we do have a lot of different creepy crawly things. So anyway, tell everybody, where can they find this? Because I know you guys do sell in some stores.
We sell it in about 15 Ace Hardware stores, mostly in Southern California. Actually, there's one in Northern California. We have a store in Oklahoma, Tulsa, which is a True Value that sells it. And our website is Prune Master, PruneMaster.us. We sell it in 2 different sizes, 4-ounce pump spray, 32-ounce trigger spray for large tools.
And Walmart.com.
Excellent. Good for you guys. Well, I know you were looking for some new packaging for different elements. So we're going to make sure we send you Robin's information,
Yeah.
But you're made in America. So we're going to send you Greg's information as well. And good for you guys, because you get A+ in both categories. Tell us kind of, tell us a little bit about, your packaging adventure.
Well, packaging started way back when we first created it, when Bruce first created this, and he had to figure out how to put the application on. He had to figure out whether he wanted it in a bottle with a sponge or whether he wanted it in a dip formula, or figure out what was the best application for gardeners. And he eventually came to realize that it needed to be simple, it needed to be easy, that they didn't need a lot of fuss. And we're removing gunky stuff on tools. So a spray was the best deal. And most gardeners have a rag or paper towel or something like that to just wipe their tool. So the spray, something that's handy, that can fit in their pocket, so they can always have it with them. So that when they go from one tree or one bush to another, they can spray in between. So we came up with a simple spray bottle that's got just a basic mist, and that's where we're at now. We kept the logo really simple, bright green, so it's easily noticeable. Most gardeners love green, so that's where we're going with that.
Well, you said a couple of things that I caught on to. Cleaning your tools with just water. All right. I want you to address that one. And then you said spraying it when you go from one to another. I don't think people necessarily realize that when you are pruning, you can transfer diseases as you go from one plant to another.
Okay. I will start with spraying the pruners with water. Makes the high-end shears rust. You don't want that. Unless they're inexpensive shears made out of stainless steel, which, by the way, stainless steel shears do not hold a cutting edge for very long. You're going to make the metal rust with water.
That's amazing, because I was a novice at all of this, back in my day when I was living in a condo, I was lucky if I had 3 or 4 pots that were on the lanai, and now I have gardens and gardens and forests to look after. So it does make a difference. And the last thing I want to do is spend all that time taking care of my herb garden, only to find out that I passed something to it that I took off of the deck garden.
That's right. That's right.
So what advice do you have for our listeners?
We work with the slight edge. I'm sure you've heard of the slight edge. So we just continue to do a little bit every day and really celebrate when we have our little victories, wonderful things. And so every time something happens that we've moved forward in one area, we celebrate. For instance, we designed a holder to put on the it's a hang tag for our product. So it was a big victory, because before we were just putting it on the shelf. Now we can actually put it on a peg hook, and the big box stores like that. They like the peg hooks, and so we're also working on the box to put to counter displays, right? So I would just say keep at it and don't get discouraged, and just consistently do things.
I think what you said is, a really good point, because a lot of inventors think that, all right, they've got their product, they put it in a package, they've shipped it out there, and now they're done. They can go to the beach. And a good product doesn't work that way. You're constantly updating the product. You're paying attention to the manufacturing. You're paying attention to the marketplace, so that if you can make the product better, smaller, less expensive, as the economy changes, packaging requirements change. It used to be that everything went into plastic or cardboard, and now they get all cranky if you put it into plastic when you could have put just a tab on it. 15 years ago, not everybody was buying off of the internet, and now they do. Well, that again changed packaging and the way you look at things. So I think it's, what you just said is really important for inventors to look at. So how long have you been working on this? When did you start? When did you have that aha moment?
I think it started in 2022, after my mother passed away, when I could devote the time that I needed to this business. So about 2.5 years.
Well, you guys have done an amazing job in 2.5 years, because you've gone from your aha moment and having time to selling in several stores and online. That's not bad. Another really A+. You've got 3 A+ for today.
Thanks. What's really helped is we really focus on the gardener. We focus on what they need, what they want, how this is going to help them. And that actually drives us. That's where we came up with our motto, as I said before: healthy plants, healthy people, healthy planet. So just thinking of the gardener just really gets us going. And when we talk with them, they're so excited about our product. They realize how much time they're going to save and all the benefits to save their tools. They won't have to buy new tools. They're very excited. So it's always fun talking to a gardener about our product.
Well, that's wonderful. So what are you looking for next?
Well, we just launched our 32 ounce. So that's where we're focusing right now. In the future, we're gonna go to the gallon size, because there's some huge field workers and greenhouses that need a lot of this product.
Even the 50-gallon drum could be sold to government agencies, one of which is in our home state of California. Caltrans can buy it by the drum. They can put it in their parts bath washers to clean, sanitize, stop rust on pruning tools in bulk.
Okay, so when you went through what was in the product, who's got the chemistry background? I mean, This is not your normal recipe.
That's right.
There you go. All right, so
I'm not a professional chemist by any means. I'm an amateur chemist.
It's in oil and water, yes.
Yeah, so it's good. It's good to know that you weren't reading the recipe off the back of a box; that you were actually testing it and going after it. So if how did you start?
I got frustrated as a professional landscape gardener cleaning my tools with WD-40. Won't get the dirt off. It'll gunk the dirt up. Don't get me wrong. WD-40 is a good lubricant, but it will not get the dirt off of pruning tools. I'm sorry.
He became an amateur chemist and started mixing things. So
Countdown.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. And everyone, if you want Prune Master, you are going to go to pronemaster.us and you can buy it. You can also look it up on Amazon and buy it there. And everybody start cleaning your tools so that you're not passing the
Walmart.com.
Walmart.com. All right.
Not on Amazon.
Not on Amazon. Stand corrected on that one. I knew there was one of those platforms out there. So anyway, stick with us, everybody. We are going to bring Robin with PacWell back to wrap up this segment as far as packaging goes. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everyone, for being with us on this show of Invent America. And we are talking about something that we all touch, see, and pay for every single day, and that is packaging. How our products that we are buying, how they're packaged in the store. A lot of us don't really think much about it, but it can really add to the cost of what we're buying and the cost to an inventor out there. So we have got Robin with PacWell. Robin, tell us a little bit about how things can vary. You've got one product goes into a box, a package, something, but you can see that package go from a $10 retail to a $5 retail just based on packaging. How does that work?
So it all depends on the weight and size of the product and how to make sure that it stays secure on the shelf, that we can come up with different materials that either we can lower your cost, or if you need a more heftier packaging, that it would increase. But you would tell us, what's your budget? How much are you looking to make on this product? And then we try to fit in there so that you're making the most money that you can with your invention.
Well, I think, so many inventors, when they look at the multiple of 5, they're looking at, if it's a $10, they think in their mind it should be a $10 retail product. They need to make sure that the manufacturing, shipping, and I always tell them packaging needs to be added into that, and it's got to be done for $2. So as they're looking now at, we've had several inventors that when they get out there and they say, all right, this needs to be, a $10 retail item, and they know there's no way they can do it with their current layout. So back to the drawing board then. And when they know the different elements up front, they have a better chance of success. And I always tell them, in that first round, those early stages, breaking even is a very good thing. Most inventors don't. So in our first segment, you used the word sustainability several times. Explain that.
Sure. So there is a big change in the packaging industry about sustainability for the earth. The biggest problem that we have is that the plastics filling our landfills. And as a packaging company, you have to pivot. We have to make sure that we have these options. And a lot of the stores are requiring sustainable packaging. And we need to make it affordable for these products to be in this package, because as we all know, packaging is the most important part of the about selling product. And it's the least important because it's the first thing to go when they open the product. So it's this challenge that we look at. And I think that we're pretty creative. Let's say we have a guide. Let's say you have a product that's $15 and under. We'll try to get you in a blister package. So you're paying 20 cents, you're paying 30 cents. And so you're not paying a lot for it. And we put you get a graphic designer that's going to make it pop, and we print it that way and it works. Now, if you have a little higher end product, then we can put you in a secure package, which is a replacement for clamshells that doesn't have any plastic at all. And that's going to replace that and lower your cost. So we have to get creative, and we have to see all the information, and everything is custom to each type of product that we get.
Well, that's wonderful. And we're happy to send inventors to you so that they can, one, learn the process and learn about the options. Options have changed so much in the last few years, and certainly the focus on what is going into the landfills. I mean, it's funny when you say it's the most important part of the process, but it then is the first thing to get tossed in the trash. And it certainly is, because if people don't pick it up off the shelf, they're certainly not going to pay for it. The first thing is to get it in their hands, which means you've got to be able to get their attention. So when you look these days, what is probably the most popular material that you use?
So SBS board is one of the most, first of all, it's eco-friendly and recyclable. And so it won't hurt the environment. So you can do that in a box. You can do it in a blister package. And I mean, anything made out of paper, we all know is recyclable. So you can use that. And then we use vegetable-based inks. So those are very friendly to the earth. And I mean, that's really it. Packaging is paper.
It's amazing that, you've got to be so creative with the packaging these days, for a variety of reasons: cost, attractiveness, eye appeal, then being the biodegradable. So there's a lot that goes into that for an inventor to consider. The fact that you make everything here in the U.S. is another big deal for the inventors. So when they go overseas to have it manufactured, and sometimes, as much as they say, I want it made in the U.S., what is it that you need from the inventor as far as doing the packaging? You want, them shipped in pallets to you? What do you want?
To start from start to finish, the process of the packaging would be like, once you invent your product and you have a prototype, number one, no problem signing NDAs to talk about it. Then we would do some measurements, the weight, the height, and everything like that. And then give you some. We also provide free prototypes. So if you want to see it in your hand of some options that it'll look like, then we'll send that over to you so you can see it. And we know how important that is, because the invention is your baby and we want to make sure that it's taken care of. And we help you along the process. So if there's something you need, we have tons of partners that we can get. Like if you need bottles, if you need things that we don't manufacture, we can get them, we can source them for you. And fulfillment wise, the pallets can come. We have a dock and warehousing shelves and everything. We just pull and fulfill for you as you go.
So you will you'll get the product in, the raw product, you will package it, and then you will warehouse it and then fulfill those orders. And that's a big deal. One of our shows coming up is, do you, hire a fulfillment company or do you do it yourself? And how big is your garage?
Right. I mean, the biggest pull that we have is if you do print your packaging with us, we do include the warehousing at no charge.
That's amazing. And, the fact that, you're in Southern California, so, products that get shipped in can go right to you. And we have got some different inventors that we have sent to you already and that you're helping them out. So we are grateful for that. Thank you so much for being on. We're going to get you on again. And anybody that wants to get in touch with Robin, they are going to be on the website, so you'll be able to link directly to the PacWell Industries. And I'm sure that she will be very happy to walk you through the steps. Thank you, Robin, so much for being on with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Everyone, stay with us. We're going to go to Made in the USA. This is our favorite new hour. And we are talking now directly with the people that are manufacturing their products in the USA. And we want to be able to share those with you. We want you to be able to know where to go and get them. Because you know what? We are all better off when we buy Made in the USA. So our host of the next hour is Greg Owens. And he is going to be taking over here in just a few seconds. So stick with us, everybody. And if you're an inventor out there and you want some help, go to Invent-America and shoot me an email, and I am happy to answer your questions.